Welcome children. In the previous videos we have studied trigonometric ratios for acute angles. We will now see the definition of trigonometric ratios to any angle in terms of radian measure and study them as trigonometric functions. Consider a unit circle with center O at origin of the coordinate axis. So unit circle means radius 1. Let P be any point with coordinates A, B on the circle with angle AOP equal to x radian. Let's take this point as A and this is B and this one is C, this one is D. So angle AOP which is equal to x radian. So along anti-clockwise direction, so it's positive x and length of the arc AP equal to x. So drop a perpendicular from P to OA. Let's take this point as M. So triangle OMP is a right triangle. So this is A and this is B. Since the coordinates of point P is A and B, since it is a unit circle and radius is 1, so we have cos x is A, sin x equal to B. So triangle OMP is a right angle triangle. Then we have OM square plus MP square which is equal to OP square. So we can write OM as A and MP is B. So A square plus B square, OP square is 1. So A square plus B square equal to 1. For every point on the unit circle, we have A square plus B square equal to 1. So A is cos, so cos square x plus sin square x which is equal to 1. So which is our identity? Cos square x plus sin square x equal to 1. So when we divide by sin square x on both the sides, we get cos square x by sin square x plus 1 which is equal to 1 by sin square x. So cot square x plus 1 which is equal to cosecant square x. So we get the second identity, cot square x plus 1 which is equal to cosecant square x. So when we divide the first identity by cos square x, we get 1 plus tan square x which is equal to secant square x, which is our third identity. So from the first identity we can write sin square x as 1 minus cos square x and cos square x as 1 minus sin square x. So from the second identity we can write this as cosecant square x minus cot square x which is equal to 1 and cosecant square x minus 1 which is equal to cot square x. And from the third identity we can write this as 1 equal to secant square x minus tan square x and tan square x as secant square x minus 1. So tan square x we can write as secant square x minus 1. The coordinates of A, B, C and D are, so A is 1, 0. Here x is 1 since this is a unit circle and the point y is 0. So this is 0, 1. So the point y is 1 and x is 0. Here the negative side of x. So the point is minus 1, 0 and the coordinates of D are 0, minus 1. So this is first quadrant, second, third and fourth quadrant. Since one complete revolution subtends an angle of 2 pi radian at the center of the circle, so it starts from 0. Then angle AOB which is pi by 2 which is 90 degree. So this is pi by 2 and angle AOC which is a straight angle which is pi and angle AOD. So when it rotates along AOD which is 3 pi by 2. So to make one complete revolution it is 2 pi radians. So all angles which are integral multiples of pi by 2, which are called the quadrant angles. Here the x lies between 0 and pi by 2, and here x lies between pi by 2 to pi. And the third quadrant, in which x lies between pi to 3 pi by 2, and the fourth quadrant x lies between 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. Here the coordinates are cos x and sin x. So a is 1 comma 0. So cos 0 is 1 and sin 0 is 0. Cos 0 is 1 and sin 0 is 0. So here 0 comma 1, which is pi by 2. So cos pi by 2 and sin pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0 and sin pi by 2 is 1. So here minus 1 comma 0. So cos pi and sin pi. Cos pi is minus 1 and sin pi is 0. So cos 3 pi by 2 and sin 3 pi by 2. Cos 3 pi by 2 is 0 and sin 3 pi by 2 is minus 1. So when it makes one revolution, so it comes to here. So it's 2 pi to make one revolution. So cos 2 pi, which is 1, and sin 2 pi, which is 0. So if we take one complete revolution from the point P, and again it comes back to the same point P, then for one complete revolution it is 2 pi. So 2 pi plus x, which is equal to sin x. Sin of 2 pi plus x, which is equal to sin x. If it turns around the clockwise direction, then the value is sin x. If x increases or decreases by any integral multiples of 2 pi, then the value of sine and cosine functions do not change. If it revolves around the clockwise direction once and come back to the same point P, then it is 2 pi plus x. If it revolves the second round, so 2 into 2 pi plus x. If it revolves again, then it is 3 into 2 pi plus x. Then the value of sin x will not change and the value of cos x will not change. So sine of 2n pi plus x, which is equal to sin x. If n takes the values of 1 to 3, then the value of sin x will never change. And again cos of 2n pi plus x, which is equal to cos x, where n belongs to integers. So whether it is positive or negative values. So now sin x is 0. So wherever sin x is 0, we have to find x. When x is equal to 0 and when x is equal to pi, we get the coordinates are cos x and sin x. So when x is 0, we get sin x is 0, and when x is pi, we get sin x is pi. Again sin x is 0 when x is 2 pi. So we can write 2 pi. Again sin x is 0 when it is 3 pi. And it goes on. So x is 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi when it is revolves around the anti-clockwise direction. When it revolves around clockwise direction, then x is 0. Then we get sin x is 0 when it is x is equal to minus pi. So sin x is 0 when x is minus 2 pi. So sin x is 0 when x is minus 3 pi. So we get x is equal to 0 plus or minus pi plus or minus 2 pi plus or minus 3 pi, and it goes on. That is when x is an integral multiple of pi. So we can write this as sin x is 0, which implies x equal to n pi, where n is integer. So if it takes positive value, so it is plus pi. If n is 2, then it is 2 pi. If n is 3, it is 3 pi. If n is minus 1, so it is minus pi. If n is minus 2, it's minus 2 pi. Similarly, it goes on. So cos x is 0 when x is pi by 2. Here the coordinates are 0, 1, that is cos x and sin x. Here cos x is 0 at pi by 2 and cos x is 0 at 3 pi by 2. So when x is pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2, and again it is 0 in 3 pi by 2 plus pi, which is 5 pi by 2. So 5 pi by 2 plus pi, which is 7 pi by 2, etc. If it revolves around anti-clockwise direction. If it revolves around clockwise direction, then it is minus. So plus or minus, x takes values plus or minus pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2, etc. So cos x vanishes when x is an odd multiples of pi by 2. So we can write this as cos x is 0, which implies that x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. So when n takes values 0, so it is 1 into pi by 2. When n takes minus 1, so minus pi by 2. N takes value 2, so 2 into 2, 4, 4 plus 1, 5, so 5 pi by 2. So we can generally write x as 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is any integer, that is n belongs to z. Now we define other trigonometric function in terms of sine and cosine functions. If we find a sine and cosine function, then it will be easy to find the other 4 trigonometric functions. So sin x is 0, which implies that x is equal to n pi, n is any integer, and cos x is 0, which implies x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is any integer. So cosecant x, the law of reciprocals, which is 1 by sin x. The rational function, the denominator should not be equal to 0, that is sin x is not equal to 0. Here we have x is equal to n pi. We say that x should not be equal to n pi. So x is not equal to n pi, where n is any integer. Again secant x is 1 by cos x. So cos x should not be equal to 0, that is x is not equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is any integer. And again tan x we can write as sin x by cos x. So cos x should not be equal to 0, that is x is not equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is any integer. So cot x, which is nothing but 1 by tan x, which is the reciprocal of cos x by sin x, in which sin x is not equal to 0, that is x is not equal to n pi, where n is any integer. So the next topic is sign of trigonometric functions. Let P be any point. The coordinates are a comma b, which is a point on the unit circle with center at the origin, such that angle AOP, so angle AOP, which is equal to x, it revolves around the anti-clockwise directions, it's positive x, and the AOQ, which is minus x, which revolves around the clockwise direction, and the point Q will be a comma minus b. So it's along the y-axis, so it's minus b. Therefore cos of minus x is cos x. Here the coordinates are cos x and sin x. So cos x, cos of minus x is cos x, and sin of minus x is minus sin x. So sin of minus x is minus sin x. Since for every point P, a comma b on unit circle, a lies between minus 1 and 1 and b lies between minus 1 and 1. So cos x lies between minus 1 and 1, and sin x lies between minus 1 and 1. So in the first quadrant, this x lies between 0 and pi by 2, and the second quadrant x lies between pi by 2 to pi, and the third quadrant x lies between pi to 3 pi by 2, and the fourth quadrant x lies between 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. Here in the first quadrant, both a and b are positive. So here x axis and y axis both are positive. Both a and b are positive. Here x is negative of x. In the second quadrant, x is negative and y is positive. So a is negative and b is positive. And in the third quadrant we have x and y axis which is in the negative. So both A and B are negative. And in the fourth quadrant we have x is positive and y is negative. That is A is positive and y is negative. So in the first quadrant both coordinates A and B are positive. That is cos x and sin x is positive in the first quadrant. If sin x and cos x is positive, then we can say tan x is positive. So sin by cos, which is plus by plus, we have tan x is positive. And cot x is reciprocal of tan x, that is 1 by tan x. So cot x is also positive. If sin x is positive, the reciprocal is cosecant x, which is 1 by sin x, which is positive. And cos x is positive, then secant x is positive. So in the first quadrant, all the 6 trigonometric functions are positive. Then we say that all are positive. And in the second quadrant, minus and plus, that is cos x comma sin x. We can see that sin x is positive and cos x is negative. If sin x is positive, then we say that cosecant x is positive. If cos x is negative, we say the secant x is negative. And tan x is sin x by cos x, then it is negative. And cot x is also reciprocal of tan x, which is negative. And we see that in the second quadrant, only sine and cosecant are positive. Sine and cosecant positive. Other trigonometric ratios are negative. So in the third quadrant, we have both cos x and sin x are negative. So if sin x is negative, then we say cosecant x is negative. If cos x is negative, then we say secant x is negative. So tan x is sin x by cos x, so minus by minus, which is positive. If tan x is positive, then cot x is positive. So in the third quadrant, only tan x and cot x are positive. The other trigonometric ratios are negative. So next in the fourth quadrant. So fourth quadrant we have the both coordinates cos x is positive and sin x is negative. So sin x is negative and cos x is positive. If cos x is positive, then secant x is positive. If sin x is negative, then cosecant x is negative. Then tan x is sin by cos, which is negative, and cot x is also negative. Here in the fourth quadrant we have cos x and secant x, which are positive. The other trigonometric functions are negative. Here in the first quadrant all are positive. Here s, sin and cosecant are positive. And in the third quadrant tan and cot are positive. Fourth quadrant cos and secant are positive. So in short we can remember as all silver tea cups. Here all means all the trigonometric functions are positive. So silver, S stands for sine. The reciprocal of sine is cosecant. So only sine are positive. So all silver. Here tan is positive. And the reciprocal of cot is positive. So we are writing as T. Then the fourth quadrant is cos x. The first letter is C, which is cups. So all silver T cups. So all are positive. Silver S, sine and cosecant are positive. T, tan and cot are positive. And cups, we can say cos x and secant x are positive.